Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's your man, Adam A. Spencer, and I wanted to dive into this little obstacle that I continue to find myself facing when it comes to trying to grow and expand my business. And ultimately, it comes down to trusting and, you know, believing in other people. I've been in this kind of pickle where, business is going well for me. I'm moving in the right direction. And, it's a crossroad of, I want to try to bring on other people. Like I'm starting to think about other people more so than what I have in terms of employment, in terms of being able to put money in other people's pockets. I've always, yeah, I can think about other people in terms of how I can help others, but that's more so been on the front of help others with a problem they have, such as how I can be a direct solution to it, not indirectly. And I wasn't really thinking about, oh, well, by me having my own business, I can help other people with just living a good life. Like they can live comfortably, they can pay their bills, they can put food on their table, help keep a roof over their head. My thought had, process had always been on the value of what I'm giving to others in terms of a service or a product. So as I'm starting to click and get all these different kind of components gelled together and pieced together to help me with creating and building my business, I understand the value of wanting to bring on team members, bring on other people that will, you know, not only allow me to do more jobs or take on tasks or things that I couldn't do on my own, but again, it goes back to me being a value that I can uh, be to others that are struggling, others that are trying to get by. But as I am growing my business, I'm seeing what that initial, I think, obstacle, that initial kind of worry was for me, which is finding uh, team members, finding individuals that I can work with, that I actually trust and that I feel comfortable with. And I want to show you guys my. We're here on just Google. I just came to Google. I typed in my AdamHelper name for my business, and you can see now. You guys might not be bad to you, but you can see over here I got a 4.9 star rating here on Google Business. Now that hasn't always been the case. That's a new updated rating in which it's actually, if you guessed it, probably it's gone down. It previously was 5 stars. Now, again, a lot of you might be like, "Oh, big deal. It dropped from 5 stars to 4.9." To me, that is a huge deal. I work incredibly hard to build up my business to have a reputation, a brand image that equates to quality. When you think of it, you're like, okay, problem solved. That was kind of that's the brand, that's the image I want. And to me, it's like now I see it a rating of 4.9, and it's like, ooh, that 5 star rating is what you shoot for, right? That's what I shoot for, at least. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you can't always satisfy everyone, or you can't, of course. But again, you can still shoot for having, the best possible rating system possible. And so the reason this came about is because, and the customer who left that review, they gave a good review. It wasn't a bad review by any means, but, I actually spoke with them prior to the review. And, it was me who, I still asked them for the review. This is how kind of, I don't know if naive is the right word, but despite our conversation after the job was completed, prior to me asking or getting the review, I, literally asked for it and said, I'll send you a link to it. And I just don't even think that the thought didn't even process in my mind that they weren't going to give me a 5 star review until I came here and I saw the 4.9 star review. And, I'm like, that was so obvious. And the reason is because of the job that we were doing. It was kind of a multi-day job, a pretty big job. And, a great opportunity because it was kind of a relaxed environment, and it was kind of not the most stressful work that we were doing, and not that strenuous, physically demanding. Just hours. But like, that's what you want. People want hours. People want to work usually. And in this particular case, one of my helpers, I don't know what his deal had been. Maybe he's going to watch this and reach out. I haven't reached out to him since. I paid him, said, thank you for your help. And, that was it. Maybe I'll reach out to them in a year from now, 6 months, a month, who knows. Right now, I'm still so kind of upset with the situation. And it's kind of it's like unfortunate because it's a setback for me in a psychological, like I already know, like this has been my fear, kind of like with why I don't, or like haven't built up a company and like flourish probably beyond where I'm at, is because of my lack of trust in others when it comes to my baby, my companies. And it's a weird, it's kind of like interesting in the sense that I'm thinking about, I took a kind of a like a course, like a program a little while ago on, like just starting a business and stuff, and I wanted to make sure I was doing everything right, and I had all my everything nuts and bolts in the right places, and just make sure I was good, because I do create a lot of content that I share with other people, so I want to make sure I'm not clueless to what I'm talking about, and that when I learn, like I can put myself in a position where I'm continuing to learn myself. I don't want to come off like I'm an expert, like I know it all, because I don't. So there was someone there that like they had a special guest, and I brought up this issue, like of me not being able to bring on other members and grow my business and expand. And he's like, well, I think the problem is you're thinking about it like it's your baby, and it is your baby, but like you're really thinking about it like it's your baby, and you don't want no one else to take care of your baby. It's yours, or you just don't trust anyone with your baby. And for me, it's spot on in the sense that, yeah, this is everything I've kind of put my time and energy behind, my reputation behind. People trust me, and if I have a job and I have a helper who's there and they're just going half, what, that's not a full representation, a good representation of Adam Helper, my business, and or me, because this represents me and my work ethic. So it's a very tricky situation and challenge that it's unfortunate it happened, because it's I was starting to get to a place where I was feeling comfortable with sending people out to jobs where I wasn't there, and that was that kind of part of that conversation. And the hurdle that I had to get over of saying I feel comfortable where I can start to bring people on and send them out, let them do jobs that are getting booked under Adam Helper. And yeah, I mean, you guys can see 533 views this month. So people, I get inquiries. I post every once in a while. I need to post more frequently on here. I'm pretty sure I had something in here more recently than January 24th. What the heck? Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure there was something much more recent than that. That's weird. Maybe not though. But either way, you can see, I mean, Google business listing does generate views, gets attention, gets eyes. I do get leads from here. I've gotten business from Google business. And so that review thing right here is like a huge kind of stain. But more importantly, again, it's more of like the experience that the customer had, which it's a pretty, big business here in the US. I don't want to say big business, but they do well. And I want them to leave, or I want us to leave their their storefront, and they were like, wow, they did an amazing job. Not they did a good job. Like I want them to feel like they did like excellent. They went above and beyond. And not everyone has that work ethic. And that's the challenge of trying to find other people that will have that same motivation and drive and hunger that you might have with your baby, because that's me. I mean, you look at the picture and that's literally me, right? Now I work with other people. I have other people that, like I said, I've could send out to jobs, but because of this recent experience, it makes me less reluctant to do so, or less reluctant to want to trust people, especially, the individual wasn't someone that I've worked with for like a year, but it's been a little while, and it just caught me completely off guard, especially since the job itself was pretty easy and laid back. And I think that was part of the issue. It was too flexible, kind of. It was too easy and lenient almost. And I think they were just taking it for granted and kind of abusing the situation, which, again, if you can be in a relaxed environment where you can work, compared to where usually lifting heavy hard things and working up a sweat sometimes, it's a big difference. And so usually people want to be in that type of environment if they're trying to make money. I don't know what his situation was at the time. I literally had asked him once. I texted him one of those days and said, "Is everything okay? Is everything cool?" He said, "Yeah, why?" I was like, "No, I'm just checking." And then his one at one time he had some BS response like, "Oh, it was just tough, just tired from like long days, hard work or something." And I literally, I remember I like rolled my eyes when I read that and like laughed. I burst out laughing. Like it was just such BS. But that's how I kind of knew like he doesn't want to work. He's not hungry. Maybe something else has come up on his end and he's like good to keep. He's ready to keep it moving, as I always say, keep it moving. I don't know, but for me, it kind of stunk because I have to face those repercussions. The customer itself, I think they had a good experience where they'll reach back out. Pretty sure the review might say something of the sort. I don't want to click on it. You guys can go and look and whatever, but it's a tricky situation, especially if you're someone like myself where an issue has been kind of trust. And now I'm finally like, okay, you know what? I'm going to trust other people and I'm going to send them out. And then I get let down, and one of the 4 agreements is to never have assumptions. So, I try not to assume people are going to necessarily work as hard as me when it comes to my business. They're not making the kind of money I make, things of that sort. So I get it, right? But at the same time, it's like, man, like I set you up nicely. You can continue to make money than I have any other, you were making less money an hour than this. And, I was giving you kind of putting you in a position where you have the flexibility and freedom to kind of, decide if you wanted to do a job and work there on your own, where I'm not standing over your shoulder and I'm like, I have to be there working with you at all times. Like, trying to give people that freedom and kind of the space to feel comfortable that I would think most people would appreciate. But in this case, it was just more of like a spit in the face because they blatantly had like kind of blatantly lied to me or misled me at times as well. So I definitely didn't appreciate it. Not a big fan of it. As I mentioned, it kind of leaves me in this funky place right now where I'm like, I want to grow my business, want to bring on people. And it's like, I got to start at square one with finding good, reliable, hardworking, and trustworthy workers that are willing to or want to, work their butt off and grind and make money. Again, if it's not your business, I get it. Some people don't. It's not the same. They're not going to look at your business as the same. They're just like, I just want to make some money. I just need, $50 or $100 or $500 a week, or whatever it is, a day or whatever. And, if it means they're going to walk through the motions and kind of be sluggish, they might do that. But is that what you want for your business? For me, it's not. And if that means kind of stunting or preventing my growth to happen as quickly as possible, for the time being, that is fine if it means I'm not going to sabotage the quality of the work that's being performed and potentially getting more negative, again, 4.9 isn't a negative review, but compared to 5, it is. In my book, it is. And so it's a tricky situation, but, I'm not losing hope. And I think it's going to come down to just finding those right workers, those people who are hungry, motivated, again, trustworthy, reliable, and and just building up that relationship with them and showing them that you're appreciative. Because I'm also questioning, like, I thought I treated him well. I always paid him more on every job. I kind of always like tipped him a few dollars, even if the customers didn't tip us. There were times when he's like, oh, can you send, money a little like sooner, whatever, like things like that. Like, so it's weird because I thought I was doing right by them, but I don't know, maybe not. Let me know what you guys think. I'm interested to hear what you guys think, and I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate kind of using the platform as a place to vent, but also share ideas and communicate with others who have the same kind of struggles and challenges, that we can all kind of come together in one place and kind of communicate and engage, share ideas and whatnot. So feel free to comment down below if you guys have experienced something similar to this, or maybe not. Maybe you had this happen to you 5 years ago and you've gotten past this hurdle, and your businesses, you got 10 employees or 5 employees, 5 workers or contractors that you just work with consistently or reliably that you can send out to jobs. I would love to hear from you guys, especially But if not, if you're someone who's still trying to grow and get bigger, hopefully this was something helpful for you, because you do want to, again, find people that are really going to represent your business, your brand, the way you would represent it, right? That's what it really comes down to. And it's not as easy as some people make it out to be. So I would love to hear what you guys think. Feel free to comment down below while you're down there. Smash that like button. I do appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully you found this valuable. You found some ammo here, some motivation. Maybe not. Maybe this is like, ooh, you know what? I'm going to hold off on hiring people. Comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys all think and what your stance is on this type of situation. And like I said, you already know I got to keep it moving. Much appreciation for watching, but I'll see you in the next video. Peace.